Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Witches Night. Anyway, I am back with the long-awaited review for Necromanteia Sorcery, or Volume 4, as I like to call it, by my friend Mr. Sean Fricks. Full disclosure, he sent me the copy you see here, and it is the deluxe edition, where it's all nice and white and leathery. And I'd like to point out that in the unboxing that I thought each deluxe edition had like a different tarot card, and I just happened to get the Sun. Well, apparently, I think all the deluxe editions all have the Sun card on them. And he did send this to me along with the tarot cards that you saw in the last video. So full disclosure, I am very appreciative, and I was not expecting the deluxe edition, and I said it in the unboxing. I'm still gonna get the regular because this is white. All right, white gets dirty. Just saying. Now to get into it, I will be reviewing the tarot cards separately. There's 22 cards. It's all major arcana. The website lists it at Oracle. Tomato, whatever. But you can purchase the tarot cards separately, and that's going to run you about $55 before tax and shipping. So the standard edition is $65. I forget what this is, but the website will be in the description down below. So let's get into it, shall we? I got my notes here. This starts off with recapping books 1 through 3, and each recap he gives you just a little bit more information. Not a whole lot, but just enough, because he wants you to go out and do your own research. And I told him personally that in Volume 3 he had an excerpt, and he mentioned the Munich Manual of Demonology and Necromancy. And for those who've been following me on Instagram and Facebook, I just recently acquired that book. So everything comes full circle, and I'm not going to go through all of that because you can watch the previous videos here at the end of this video. I made a nice little playlist for you. So yeah. He gives you a little bit more information on previously mentioned information, and then the focus of this particular book is the tarot. The Necromanteia Tarot starts off with an intro about the creation of the tarot in general, in both necromantic and the anti-cosmic cutting away of the minor and leaving the major arcana designed to go into pathworking for further knowledge. That didn't make a whole lot of sense, did it? Necromanteia Tarot starts off with the intro about the creation of the tarot in both necromantic and the anti-cosmic. He cuts away with the minor arcana, leaving the major arcana, which is designed to go into this pathworking further. I refer you to the last video I did, where I used the tarot in a necromancy ritual, which isn't a whole lot of information out there on that. A lot of people think it wouldn't work, but it did for me. So, again, that video is at the end. And then we get into the brief history on tarot through the ages in the grimoire. However, if you have a favorite tarot spread that you like to use, feel free to use it. If you have a favorite tarot deck, you can also use that as well. But remember, this just does the 22 major arcana. Or is it 21? It doesn't matter. You know what the hell I'm talking about. So, he does graciously provide divination meanings and, for example, he gives a quick, brief description of the card. No bullshit, no pussyfooting around. For example, the Fool. This is the start of a journey and inexperienced on the task that is at hand. It is foolishness associated with youth. And then he gives the reverse if you do the reverse. I really don't, personally. But if you do, you have it. And he goes into shuffling, cutting, which, again, if you have your own preferred method, feel free to use it. You don't have to use what's in the book. Although, when I get a tarot deck, I like to try what they recommend, but then I start doing it my way. So, and then we get into the shuffling and cutting, which, again, the fun part, the 7-card spread. He has his own spread of the cards. Let me see. That's his spread that he likes to use. I'll be honest, I like it, but if I was to give, and I am, to give honest criticism here, I can see why They list this as an oracle deck, as a tarot, instead of a tarot. It shuffles, it works, it reads just like a tarot, but for some reason, it gives me an oracle card vibe, if that makes any kind of sense to you. Like, I know these are tarot cards. You got the Hermit. You got Justice, you know? They're tarot. But they come off as a oracle feeling, and when I'm doing that particular spread in the book, that's when it hits me the most. So that's why if you have a particular spread for yourself that you like to use, feel free to use it. I like to do a 3-card spread. That's just me. But, you know, try it for yourself. Let's see. So, let's see here. One through 2 is spiritual influence. 3 is advice. 4 is unconscious desire. And 5 is conscious desire. 6 is the advice the card offers. And card 7 is the outcome. And I'll be doing this in the review for the tarot. And like all tarot readings, nothing is set in stone. It is just one of many, many possibilities and timelines and all of that. As I mentioned, he gets to the point. No bullshit meanings. I'm sure you've seen or had tarot decks where they'll give you Lord of the Rings fucking paragraphs just to say it's good or bad. So you go through this whole bullshit just to get like 1 or 2 things, and you don't even get, you know, the right thing. I think you're paying more for the card art rather than the meanings of the cards. He gives a tarot exercise. So like page 120, Necromanteia Contemplation Exercise. This is based on the 22 Major Arcana. You pull the card that is the most that calls to you in the Major Arcana, which, I'm not gonna lie, since I got this, it has been the Hermit. Look how badass that card is, huh? Tell me that's not a fucking vibe. Alright? This card is a fucking vibe. It is a mood. You pick a card and focus on the image for around 3 to 5 minutes. After completing the time limit on the cards, take a few breaths, bring your focus back to your normal frame of mind. This is the most important part of the ritual, is to record your results in your own grimoire. or journal and state what your feelings or your other ideas you receive while performing this ritual. So, I mean, I did it with this one immediately. When I got the deck and I went through it, the Hermit card immediately stood out to me, and it still does. And then we go into Magic of Tarot. Gives a little brief association on that. How it can be applied to the mundane world. Let's see. Then we go into making tarot talismans, which, I'm going to be honest, I kind of forgot about that. Because I've been focusing mainly on using the deck as a main divination tool. But he goes into talking about how to make a talisman out of a tarot deck, and he is so kind enough to include the line of, depending on what tradition you follow, the construction of a talisman will differ greatly in everything from its look to the nature of its attraction. So, if you are in Group A, their idea of talismans is different from Group B, and then Group C, so on and so forth. And then, this is a common theme he likes to put in his Necromanteia books, on the purpose of necromancy and why we should do it. Which, I had a friend ask me, what is necromancy and why am I doing it? If you follow me on Facebook, you would have saw the post, but I gave her the briefest of answers, which is really surprising because she is half into Comedicism. Still is, I think. I know she's trying to be an all faiths type of minister, but I know her main thing was Comedicism, and the Egyptians were notorious for dead rites, so I know, okay, I know the Egyptians have some good necromancy stuff, I know they do. And if you say they don't, you're fucking lying. But in case you didn't know, which is kind of hard to believe because this is volume 4 in my eyes, we get knowledge from the future, the ability to gain lost knowledge or wisdom by divination means, tarot, scrying mirror, scrying bowl, Ouija boards, gaining legal knowledge for some worldly purpose, and one that actually comes close to home to me, closure and healing. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Necromanteia Sorcery. What do I think of it? I like it. It's a book that I don't know how to describe it professionally, but as my friend Maurice would always say, each volume just keeps getting better and better, and Necromanteia Sorcery is by far the best out of the four. There are a few things here and there, like the tarot cards giving me the Oracle vibe. But that's just me. It's not really a big thing. It comes off as that, you know. And you know, other than the price, I really don't really have a negative thing to say. I mean, like I said in the last video, or elsewhere, yeah, in the last video, it is set to Colombian pesos, so you're gonna see 5,500 for the tarot deck. It's only $55, especially if you hit the PayPal and you see the options. The 6-month plan is like everything in total. It's just, it's nothing on this part, but because that took me back a little bit when I was getting volumes 1 through 2 for the collection. But as for the book itself, there's really nothing negative about it that I can say. I know it's been brought up, grammatical errors and stuff, but I don't really count that as a negative thing, because I'm bad at I'm bad at that my damn self, so I'm not gonna judge. So, and everybody does it. Especially these kids these days don't even use an actual whole word. But I recommend this one. This is closer to a actual grimoire in the sense that we know it. His books are more on the academic approach, which lately I have been appreciating. I've been watching Magister Clavis, Esoterica, and I've been really enjoying the scholarly and academical approach to things in the occult. And so I appreciate the Necromanteia series just a little bit more now, and I fully understand it. So a link to Sirius Limited Esoterica will be in the description, where you can find all these books, the tarot cards, and many other books. And it's run by Edgar Cavall from Bolg fame as well. So if you know him through that, Sirius is his own thing. So I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. it loses a couple points because of the Oracle thing, but it's still pretty good. I recommend it, especially if you're into tarot, which I know a lot of people are, so buy it. And with that, I'm going to call this video done. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you want to come find me, my links are in the description. And again, the links to buy these are in the description as well. And on that note, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. And cool runnings. Irie Bites.